Good morning, students. Let us begin the new topic. Already we have started respiration in plants on the basis of availability of oxygen for the oxidation of respiratory substrate. It is of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, there is presence of oxygen, and in anaerobic respiration, there is lack of oxygen or absence of oxygen. So, in this session, I am going to tell you about aerobic respiration, and in that, two processes take place. First is glycolysis. Okay? Glycolysis means it is the breaking of glucose molecule into pyruvic acid. Okay, so or in general we can say hydrolysis of glucose. So in this glucose molecule, one glucose molecule get converted into pyruvic acid. So that we are going to study, and that path, that glycolysis is also termed as EMP pathway. Okay, glycolysis is also termed as EMP pathway. So in this session we are going to study step by step how the process takes place and what are the different conditions for it, what are the essential enzymes which participate in this whole process. So metabolism means either a breakdown of substances taking place or formation of new, means either it is catabolic or it is anabolic. See, catabolic pathway, it involves king of larger complex, while anabolic involves synthesis of compound, means smaller substances combine to form larger, while in catabolism it is breaking of larger molecules. Okay, so these pathway, they are mostly irreversible, means it is formation, again breakdown, it is taking place in both the direction, and these all metabolic pathways, they are regulated. Now how? So one by one, so like mini cycles, glycolysis, oxidation of pyruvic acid, then citric acid cycle. In all these we will see how these formation of complex substances and breaking of substances into simpler form are regulated by different enzymes and different conditions. In glycolysis, it is a process which is taking place in number of steps, and one molecule of glucose, which is a 6-carbon compound, breaks into 2 molecule of pyruvic acid, which is a 3-carbon compound. In glycolysis, each molecule of glucose produces 2 molecule of pyruvic acid at the end of glycolysis, and the net gain of ATP is 2 ATP molecules. So overall there are 4 major pathways in glycolysis. See, one is storage of glucose, other is synthesis of structural polymers, one I told you that is glycolysis, formation of pyruvic acid, and last is oxidation of pentose phosphate, okay, into ribose 5-phosphate through the pathway of phosphorylation. Now just see, there are different forms of carbohydrates before entering in glycolysis get converted into simplest form, that is glucose, then glucose 6-phosphate or fructose 6-phosphate, then phosphorylation of glucose takes place, then these sugars are metabolized into the glycolysis. And during the conversion, one molecule of NADH2 is formed, and each NADH2 forms 3 ATP and water through electron transport system of mitochondria. Now, the overall reaction of glycolysis, it is given by simple reaction that we can say, that is glucose is getting converted into pyruvate and 4 hydrogen ions. Now, glycolysis mainly takes place in two phases. First, we can say it is a preparatory phase, and second is payoff phase. See, in glycolysis, I've told you that 6 carbon compound get converted into 3 carbon compound, that is pyruvic acid. Now, one by one, we are going to discuss about each steps which is taking place in glycolysis. In first step, see, glucose, one molecule of glucose is phosphorylated by ATP. Now you can see that ATP is converted into ADP in the presence of hexokinase. Now here enzyme is hexokinase, and it will convert glucose into glucose 6-phosphate, and ADP will be formed. Now after that, isomerization takes place. Isomerization means arrangement, rearrangement of chemical structure. Okay, so aldose glucose 6-phosphate gives the ketose or fructose 6-phosphate. So there is only isomerization, that is rearrangement of molecules, and that is through the process in presence of enzyme phosphoglucoisomerase. Okay, it takes place in the presence of phosphoglucoisomerase, in which one molecule of glucose 6-phosphate isomerizes into fructose 6-phosphate. Now every time I am telling you that there are some conditions, some enzymes which are helping in each and every reaction. See, in third step, phosphorylation, the enzyme phosphofructokinase is acting here, which is catalyzing the reaction, and in this fructose 6-phosphate molecule get converted into fructose 1,6-diphosphate. Okay, now again here one molecule of ATP get converted into ADP, and one molecule of fructose 1,6-diphosphate is formed, and the process is known as phosphorylation. Now in next step, step 4, breaking of 2,3 carbon molecules takes place, and that takes place in presence of phosphotriose isomerase, and it is also taking place in presence of the enzyme aldolase. See, isomerization is taking place, but first what is doing? Aldolase is converting fructose 1,6-diphosphate into one molecule of 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde and one molecule of dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Okay, so 3-phosphoglyceraldehyde is formed and dihydroxyacetone phosphate is formed. Now this is isomers. Both these are isomers. So in step 5, isomerization of these two takes place, and that also takes place in presence of phosphotriose isomerase. Okay, so these are reversible. They both are interconvertible. Now after this, non-enzymatic reaction takes place. Okay, in that 1,3-diphosphoglyceraldehyde is formed. Okay, that is, it is non-enzymatic reaction. So in this, aldehyde, that is diphosphoglyceraldehyde, two molecules get converted into carboxylic acid, that is 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid. Okay, so how this conversion is taking place? In this conversion, triose phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme is catalyzing the reaction. So, 2 molecule of 3-phosphate glyceraldehyde is converted into 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid. Now here again you can see that NAD is reduced to NADH2 and 2 molecules of NADOH2 is formed. 2 hydrogen ions are released. Now after that what happened? See, in step 7, phosphoglyceric trans-phosphorylase enzyme take part and it convert 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Now, till previous steps, what was going on? ATP was converted into ADP. Now, in this step, ADP get converted into 2 molecules of ATP. Okay, so 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid in presence of phosphoglyceric trans-phosphorylase, okay, is converted into 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Now after that, phosphoglycorate mutase converts 3-phosphoglyceric acid, 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglyceric acid into 2-phosphoglyceric acid. Okay. See, 3-phosphoglyceric acid is moved from 3 carbon to 2 carbon and it is converted to 2-phosphoglyceric acid in presence of phosphoglycerate mutase. It catalyzes the reaction. And after that, in step 9, dehydration of 2-phosphoglyceric acid takes place. And how it is taking place? It is taking place by the action of enolase. Okay, and this enolase dehydrate 2-phosphoglyceric acid into phosphoenol pyruvate. And it is also many times written that phosphoenol pyruvic acid also. Okay, so 2 molecules of PEP is formed. And after that, see, enolase converts 2-phosphoglycerate or 2-phosphoglyceric acid into 2-phosphoenol pyruvic acid and water. See, what do you mean by dehydration? Dehydration means removal of water. So you can see there is removal of 1 molecule of water and phosphoenol is formed. And after that, there is transfer of phosphate from phosphoenol pyruvic acid to ADP. Now, 2-phosphoenol pyruvic acid, 2 molecules of PEP get converted into pyruvic acid in presence of pyruvate kinase and 2 molecules of ADP get converted into 2 molecules of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so you can see from the starting 1 molecule of ATP is utilized in conversion. In second step, again 1 molecule of ATP is utilized, and after that, just see in the next last step, okay, 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid. It convert ADP, diphosphate, into 2 molecules of ATP. And again, in the last step, 2 molecules of ADP get converted into 2 molecules of ATP. So the ATP utilized is again recovered. So if we are going to summarize the whole process of glycolysis, what is going on? Glucose is oxidized to pyruvate, NAD is reduced to NADH, and ADP, adenosine diphosphate, is phosphorylated to ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Now, during the conversion of 1,3-diphosphoglyceraldehyde into 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid, one molecule of NADH2 is formed, and each molecule of glucose yields 2 molecules of 1,3-diphosphoglyceric acid. Thus, each molecule of glucose forms 2 molecules of NADH2, and each NADH2 forms 3 ATP and water through electron transport system of mitochondria. And in this way, overall, there is additional gain of 6 ATP in glycolysis. I've told you previously 1 molecule ATP is utilized, then in the next step again 1 molecule, and after that 2 plus 2, how many molecules of ATP is formed? 4 molecule. And NADH2, it also converts, or we can say that helps in the formation of ATP. So overall there is additional gain of 6 ATP in the process of glycolysis. Okay, that's why the reaction of glycolysis does not require oxygen, and there is no output of carbon dioxide. Even the formation of 1,3-diphosphoglyceraldehyde, it is called non-enzymatic phosphorylation. So one input is 1 molecule of glucose and output is 2 molecule of pyruvate. Input 2 ATP, output 4 ATP. Then input 4 ADP and output is 2 ADP. Clear? So these are the overall reactions, overall process which is taking place during glycolysis. Thank you. Have a nice day.